When we think of teachers and those in teaching professions, it's quite common for us to think of specific traits that these individuals may have, which make them suitable for the role. Aside from traits and maybe even skills, I've come to learn that there's something else which makes an individual a good teacher. Think for a second of a teacher that you've had in the past, one that has impacted your life in positive ways. What stood out about them, and what differentiated them from the other teachers that you had? Picture this. It's your first day of practicum in your journey of becoming an educator. You step into the room and you see children playing, some are reading, and some are having snack. As you observe the educators in the room and their interactions with the children, you notice that they're connecting very well with the children, that they seem to have a certain spark in them, which allows them to do so. You see a group of children quietly doing art at a table, and so you sit down next to them. As you sit there, you think about what are the words you want to use and how you want to interact with them. But unfortunately, the nerves and excitement of being in the room gets in the way of your interactions, and you end up kind of awkwardly just sitting there. Think for a second of how might you be feeling in this moment. What are some of the concerns and questions that are on your mind about these interactions that you're having with these children, or rather, the lack thereof? There are definitely certain traits and skills that educators and those in the teaching profession need to have in order to do their job well. These skills and traits help them to communicate well, build relationship, and ultimately teach. When we think of early childhood educators and individuals who work with young children, there's often a misconception that you need to be warm and bubbly and always excited and just sort of like a Mary Poppins. Although those traits in themselves are not bad, but we're not all like that. And sometimes that can put a pressure on us in a way that doesn't allow us to relate with children in an honest and valuable manner. Now, this goes for not only educators, but anybody who interacts with young children. Ultimately, in order to build strong and deep relationships with other human beings, we need to be able to share freely who we are. When we have this kind of idea of what an educator or an individual who works with children should be, then we can kind of be in this place where we feel like we're forcing ourselves to fit that mold. As we do so, we end up limiting our ability to truly connect with the children in our care. And so, going back to the idea of what differentiates a good teacher and a not so good one, is the ability for that individual to share who they are with the children, with their students, with those who they are teaching in an honest and unhindered manner. Now, this doesn't mean to go on and share everything about yourself with those you're teaching. But there is value in taking the parts of yourself that you are passionate about, that you are strong in, and then sharing that with those you are teaching as a way to connect, as a way to understand one another. When you take your strengths as a way to connect with young children, children then are able to see that they have the freedom to do so as well. This then creates a space where either one of you doesn't feel like you have to force yourselves to change or to fit a mold in order to relate in a certain manner. As you do so, your strengths build upon one another to build a strong foundation where your relationship can flourish. In this flourishing, you then continue to have the freedom, the confidence, and the strength to watch, think, be.